Hi everyone, this is Sharon. I'm back today with my latest project. This is a design team project for Luise Heinzl. It's the April project, and the kits that I used in this journal are her Butterfly Flowers Junk Journal pages and her Butterfly Flowers ephemera kit. And as soon as I saw the kits, I immediately thought boho, and you'll see as we open it up, it's very colorful. And I've always wanted to do a boho journal, so this is my attempt at it. I don't know if everyone will consider it boho or not, but it's what I did. I always like to interject a little bit of botanical and some other things in there, so it's kind of a mix of things. But what I did for the cover, when I thought about going boho style, it was one of those occasions where the question is, why did I hang on to this for decades? And the answer is, because you can use it for your cover. So actually, what I used is a repurposed men's tie for the outside closure. And then I used a piece of very fine linen with some crochet trim on there, and a piece of sari silk fabric. So that's nice and blingy. And I lined that with some cheesecloth. So these two pieces, this is loose. These two pieces I actually stitched to the cover, so they will stay on there, but they're loose. And then this is the piece I've been hanging on to for decades, a remnant, a wool carpet remnant. And I actually have enough to make 3 different journals. So this is my first. I'll probably follow up with a couple more journals. So what I did was cut a piece to size. I left the carpet fringes on there. I couldn't bear to cut those off. I thought they looked kind of neat. And what I did on the raw edges was to do a little blanket stitch around the top. I did that, and then down the side. So I'll unwrap this, and then down the side and the back. And I just thought this really gives me the vibe of something boho, something that if I was to carry around a journal, it would probably look like this, and it would contain things that I've collected over the years and just shoved in there, or little notes that I would have put in there. So inside, I covered the inside with a piece of patterned cotton. I stitched that in, and this has 3 signatures, and I actually just wrapped this around, and so it's nice and soft and chunky and pretty stuffed in there. So it can expand. There's plenty of room for that. This is one of the junk journal pages from Luise's kit, and it's going to look a bit different than what you'll see on her Etsy store, because I wanted to create something that looked very worn, very used. And so what I did was I crumpled up my pages and I coffee dyed them. So these are very much grunged up compared to what you would see in the original kit, just so you're aware of that. So this is my first signature. On this page, I created some journaling cards. This is some Japanese fabric patterns on there. I added a fabric tab. I fussy cut quite a number of things from her ephemera kit throughout this journal. There was a flower page and a butterfly page. And her background pages are just wonderful. Look at the patterns on those. And so I backed a lot of the pages and some of the journal cards with her blank journal pages. And then on the back of this one, I did the same and used a little washi tape. As I typically do, I add old book pages. This is a blueprint image. And here I created a little pocket. And this is a journaling card and a tag. And this is fussy cut from the kit. Page from the kit. There's, you can see one of the background pages. Here I added a couple pieces of French newspaper and a grungy piece of fabric. I did include some sari silk trim in throughout the journal, and here's a piece that I used as a belly band. Behind there, I tucked this little identification card, backed it with some adding machine tape, and then I put in an original letter from my collection. I don't think it has a date on it, but it was in a box of letters that were from the 1940s. This is a fussy cut butterfly from the kit. The butterflies she has in that kit are really pretty. In the center, I put in an image of an old sampler, and I actually did some of my own very rudimentary stitching in different spots. And then on the back side, I just reinforced it with some extra paper. You'll see that on both sides. And then on the strings, I just added some button images. Here's a little tuck spot with the fussy cut butterfly from the kit. And I created a journaling spot here, kind of a little booklet. And this is an image of a carpet. And I back that. Here I did some stenciling and added a couple of button card images. I'll show you the backs. I just added a little bit of extras on there. Here I made a pocket or a tuck spot from, I believe it was a journal card from the ephemera kit. I just added a scalloped edge to that. And then here are a couple of ephemera pieces that can be used to journal on, and I added a little bit of string onto that one. This pocket, we have another lovely lady. Piece of lace trim. Here's sari silk that I pinned to the bottom here, and I added some little extra trims, but so it can be used as a belly band of sort to tuck things into, and then it wraps around and goes on this side too, same thing, or you can take the pin out and just use it as a place for some secret journaling. Here I also added a little bit of linen with crochet trim on it, and that could actually be used as a tuck spot as well. Here's a corner pocket that I made from the kit and put a couple of playing card images in there. Here I stamped a doily, and this page is some sewing instructions. I also added a little stack of buttons onto these pins. And in here I've got a couple of journaling cards. This is a prayer card from an old German Bible that I have. And then I made this journaling card. I've got some paper from 1960. This is from a bird book. Here I made an envelope. It's one of my inside-out envelopes. I put a butterfly from the kit on there. I didn't want to embellish it too much because I just really love this pinstripe pattern on there, and I thought it went well with this nice eagle. And then I also added some things on the back and put a little pocket in there. Made a little journaling card. And then inside, I just put a tag and a journaling card from the kit, and also inserted a catalog flyer for some lamps with some journaling space on the inside. And these are upholstery trims on the back. And this, I've got a magnetic closure on there, so it clips over the page pretty well. This is another page from the kit. This is some coffee dye paper that I made, and then I added some trim on the top. That just flips up. This is a page from a flower book that I have. And then these pockets I made from journaling cards from the kit. I just added a little bit of fabric ruffled on the bottom and a little bit of paper and some collage on there. In each of the pockets I have a journaling card, or a tag, I guess, and a page from an English-French dictionary. And on this side, these two are basically the same, and just have this guy stuck in there. In the center of this signature, I've got a couple of beads on there. Here's a fabric flip, and with a little bit of stamping on the top. Here I made a pocket and tucked in a recipe for butter biscuits and sugar cakes. They're very simple recipes. Some lines on the back for journaling. And then this is just an old envelope that I had in my stash. Ledger paper, and I just added a little bit of fabric trim on there. On this page I made a double belly band This is an image from one of the kit pages. I tucked in a couple pieces of straw paper that you could use to put your favorite quote or a verse or whatever you want to put on there, thought for the day. And here's a journaling card that I made with this lovely lady. I like the way she peeks over the top. Here I inserted a flower specimen card. This is my first attempt. I've seen so many people do it and I just love them, so I thought I'd try it. This is, I used actually from a different kit that I had purchased, but I found these flowers pressed in an old book that I had, and they must have been in there for quite a few years. Most of them were hydrangeas, so I thought I would make up a bunch of these and stick them in some of my journals. And on this side, this was something I received in Happy Mail, which I really like. I want to recreate that because I love the way the stitching creates a notebook page look to it. And here I just made a little booklet. It's got some images, some design images for hardware. Love the colors on that page. And all these flowers are made from multiple butterflies. I think that's pretty neat. Here I did a little fabric flip again and collaged or layered some different pieces of paper and fabric on the top. Do a little machine stitching on there. And in this pocket, I created a couple of journaling cards in the backs. Here again is some of that sari fabric like I used for the outside of the cover. Did a little bit of stenciling on that page. This is actually one of the little tucks that come with the ephemera kit, and I added some sari ribbon and a little bit of sari beaded work on the top there and some extra paper underneath. And then this is an old postcard image, and I just stapled some fabric pieces onto the back of that. Edith Holden book page, I've got a couple of those throughout. This again, all the anchor pages for my signatures, I've used pages from Luise's kit. In here, I've got a postcard. This is an authentic one from 1909. And on this side, I've got a library card. Just put a little bit of ribbon on that, but I stamped on the back and you can use it for journaling. And here I've got a couple of map fragments that if you put together will form the same map. And there's room to journal on the back. I actually did some beeswax treatment on those, which I usually like to do on my maps. Oh, in this little pocket here, I think it's getting kind of dark on me here. I've inserted this little optical lens, and I backed it with some pretty paper and tied it in so it won't get lost. So I put a little, I knew I'd forget the, whatever you call those, not rivet, but whatever that is. It's anchored in there. I've tied it on. And I also put some decorative paper on the back. The other side of that sari fabric. Then here, this is a take from the kit, and I just added on the front here for a little bit more stability on that pocket. And here are some journaling cards. This is a little booklet of sorts. And I just put a little band in there to hold this piece, which is an old image of an old ID card. Immigration papers, I think. And then I did some stamping on the top. And then this is a piece from the kit, which could be used for multiple things. Probably a belly band. I'm thinking I would use it as a bookmark. And in this last page, I took two individual pockets from the kit and stitched those together. So I did, you can see the stitching in the center there. And then glued them in to make one large side tuck. And then I added these round tabs on there. And in there, I have another one of these catalog pages. This one's for dress trimmings and a dresser set. And then there's room to journal on the back. That is the end of my journal. lots of fun and a great kit to work with. And I thank you for coming along with me today. As I mentioned, I will probably have a couple more journals similar to this that I hope to get finished, because I've got, as typically happens, I have way more ideas than can fit in one journal. So it ended up to be probably about 3 journals that I'll end up with. So thank you for coming along with me today. I hope everyone is well and look forward to talking to you again. Bye-bye.